Okay. Yes, this is the Victorian Pride Centre. Everyone knows in 2017 there was a vote for marriage equality that spurred an interest in social equity, both with many like-minded organisations and civic organisations, but a collective sort of formed of rainbow communities, if you like, such as Joy FM, Midsummer Film Festival, Switchboard, and many others that lobbied the Victorian State Government to assist with providing a dedicated building to foster and support a wide range of community and social groups. And that was the result of this Pride Centre, which James Brearley and I's companies won in a competition. So this is a shot of the Pride in its full glory during this year's March. And we particularly wanted a building that had reference to context and St Kilda and that sort of exotic Moorish type architecture of this somewhat faded St Kilda Bayside suburb, getting our cues from Luna Park and the Palais Theatre, the Esplanade Vaults, and art by Nolan, like the Catani Arch. So the Pride building sort of revelled in that, and it definitely needed to be a part of the suburb and St Kilda. So as the building sits now in Fitzroy Street, we'll venture inside, but it sits well within the street, contributes to the streetscape, and also as a part of rejuvenation for St Kilda suburb. The street's been a bit maligned of late, and this was seen by the government also as a building that could rejuvenate use and activity and interest, being a multi-purpose building as well, both cultural, commercial, and where the building's theme started from a box, we started to look at St Kilda arches and vaults and tubes, and actually applied a conceptual tube process through the building volume. Part of that process and a key element to it was the central core or atrium eggshell, as we like to call it a bit. That was inserted into the middle of the space so that a very important part of both getting light through the guts of the building, as well as a central organising circulation point. So once we passed these tubes through the atrium shell, we came up with some surprising and emergent sort of form that really became a dynamic central core to the building. This is a section running through the building. So we have a double height space running through the entry forum, what we call up to a mezzanine and upper level within the atrium shell. Above that are community offices and archives and switchboard, minus 18 youth group. And above that are two levels of mainly health, Star Health, Monash Health and Thorn Harbour Health health clinics. Then there's a rooftop. This section just shows the environmental sustainable principles of the scheme. I won't go through them in detail, but it does work well up to almost a 6-star category. We looked at various things, and part of that was, individual and collective and community. We looked at what an atrium stair or grandstand in beneath this atrium shell might look like. Also, how you might apply art to, for instance, their emu eggs with carvings on it. The local indigenous group have actually coined the atrium, the egg, symbol of the bird breaking out and becoming free. So there's various connotations that people are reading into it. So this is the bottom of the atrium, the core of the building, and we're looking sort of midway through that dynamic form with the tubes passing through it. Other influences were the St Kilda, the Seahorse Club was a club where Munro's used to exist, where this building now exists. It was a trans gathering point for people performing at the Ritz Hotel up the road. And that's sort of symbolically represented in the reception desk as a shell or seahorse-like tail form. Others, colour and materiality, for instance, the sort of gradated colours of eggs, light running through, soft material. So basically the materiality of the interior is a concrete arched frame on a car park grid with softer finishes of timber, coloured tiles being represented internally. Really quite simple. A lot of raw concrete's exposed and left. I won't go through detail with the plan, but there's the main entry, this shell, the multi-purpose space, and function rooms, upper level mezzanine where archive is here, the building core. So as you walk through the entrance, you're enticed inside. These are a few conceptual sketches that were done, looking at materials and animating the space. We made a study model that looked at how the tubes might be then further carved out and opened up through program, setbacks, gaining light, double height space. The entry is a big threshold all the way through. It's called the forum. This is the galleria running down the side. It's a multi-purpose space. People can come and sit, much like a library foyer or something, looking back. Then we get to the atrium shell in the middle. The materiality of coloured tiles that change colour as we go through various levels in the toilets and foyer. This is the kitchenette, the only expression of a collective rainbow colours. So we've kept it very mute and subtle. Inside the toilets, safe space symbols and all gender toilets, work for all. The multi-purpose space, looking back upstairs, fabric air conditioning ducts, quite unusual, with a scalloped cork ceiling, lush curtains backlit during the day.
1 minute left.
Okay, and we're looking back to the mezzanine. There's an archive section. Oh. Sorry. I won't go through the plans. It's getting stuck. There we go. So as we work through the main space, this is the central core, seeing all the different interlay of form, light, colour, materiality, and resolutions between the egg shape and the laneway street, common usage of materials, how it fits into the concrete, different colours, upper level. We're on the top level now.